might surprise you to hear, but I actually had a nice childhood.
Would have fooled me.
Yeah. Oh. My dad was he's a great guy. He was a craftsman in a town called Weatherin's Landing, just a few miles south here of Brackett Court. And he was a good man. My mother, on the other hand, Anelia, she was fine for the first few years. But something changed. Will smirk a little bit while taking a sip of what Medrin's brought over, followed by a little swig of the wine. Kind of just, out of Medrin's eye shot. It really helps to have a chaser. Dev, I can't tell you how good it is to see you. I've seen Seti and I've seen you all within the same day. This is the best day I've had in quite a while.
Second to when you found us, yeah?
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, who are your friends?
And he kind of goes around the table and he goes, that's Elandra, that she's a wizard. That is Stone, he's a cleric. Lyria, she's a ranger. And then Grom. He is a barbarian.
Again, Grom, sorry about the whole arrow thing. I hope I can make it up to you somehow.
He kind of looks at you and looks at your bow. He goes, you could hit harder next time.
And Emmer will do exactly that. Just look at him deadpan for a second and then just howl laughing oh, I fucking like. You found a good crew, Dev.
They found me. I was in a pretty bad spot when they came across me, honestly.
So, look, let's get down to brass tacks. Last I heard, you were tracking Mum.
And as soon as he mentions his mom, I'm just gonna look suddenly very interested in my beverage.
Oh, look.
Oh, look, a beverage.
And he kind of
Love
just
it.
nods. And he looks at you and goes, that's correct. Yeah.
And?
We have some good leads.
Fuck.
She keeps busy. She keeps moving. It's difficult. Even Lyria has a hard time keeping tabs on her.
I can't say I'm surprised. Well, folks, I guess that means you're going to want a little bit of a story time, huh?
Absolutely.
Unless you don't, in which case that's fine with me.
No, I definitely want story time.
If you don't want to talk about your family issues,
liar.
I understand. No.
Orlo
it's clear that he wants to get this off of his chest.
It's clear that you want him to get it off of his chest.
Because I'm supporting him through this hard time. Now, about your mother.
Orlo just grabs one of the chairs that have been pushed to the side and just grabs it and sets it down and just sits down kind of on the outskirts of everybody and just starts listening intently.
The big ears just
As this
legs crossed.
As this shuffling is happening, Sir Roland is going to try and kind of surreptitiously like brush up against Dev, like when he's scooting his chair or something, and he's going to use his divine sense to see if he senses any evil coming off this guy.
Give me a religion roll.
All right.
Religion is your thing, Burke.
I know. I got a natty one. This
Having a rough day.
I
we're
had to switch
switching.
the-
We're switching D20s.
Yeah.
Dice jam.
We're switching
Oh my
them.
God.
That's
Words.
At work, we sell little dunce caps for your dice if one is being bad.
It's amazing, actually. I keep wanting to get one. But so the divine sense is something that is inherent for you, and especially at this point, I'm not going to stop you from using it. There is a reason specifically I asked you for that rule, though. So as you kind of brush up against him, you get just this wave of different feeling. You sense what this person deals with on a regular basis is monstrous in nature, ranging from all variety of those things that your divine sense detects. And they're so recent with him, and it's something that he carries with him, and it kind of all just hits you just in the chest. You feel this weight that he is carrying, and whether or not that is good or bad in nature, it's kind of obfuscated by the amount that there is.
Roland's gonna like sit down, and as he sits down kind of heavily with his drink, and he puts on like a really like forced smile, and like he's kind of sweating a little bit as he takes a drink.
Emmerin, would you like to proceed with story time?
It might surprise you to hear, but I actually had a nice childhood.
What
Would have
went
fooled me.
wrong?
Yeah. Oh. My dad was he's a great guy. He was a craftsman in a town called Weatherin's Landing, just a few miles south here of Brackett Court. And he was a good man. My mother, on the other hand, Anelia, she was fine for the first few years. But something changed. And rumors started spreading around the town that she was into some shit. She was a witch, that she was making deals with demons and deals with devils and what have you. It's why I use the name Demon Fucker when referring to myself, because it was something that I was called a lot by the other kids in the town after a while. Luckily, the thing about being a witch or a demon fucker is that people are scared of you, so they won't act. But one day she just fucked off. And that's when the townspeople got their bravery about them to, attack a child. So they came for me and they came for Da. And they burned down our house. And Da stayed behind. And he burned with it. And they thought I did too. But luckily, I had a little bit of an angel in my life. And that's this man. So Uncle Devlin got me out. He kept me in the woods for a few weeks, taught me how to hunt. and set me up in the Thieves Guild here in Black Accord. So I was like that little urchin that I slipped money to the other day in the beginnings. Ran numbers, sent messages, what have you. That's how I knew that. That's how you get information around Black Accord. It's just how you do it.
And
Oh,
as you're telling this, Seti kind of leans forward and goes,
I was getting to you.
And when Emmerin's talking about like losing his family, if assuming I'm close enough, I'll just kind of like lay a hand on like his shoulder or like gently on his arm or wherever.
Yeah, he'll turn to you just for a second and kind of give you kind of a forced smile and then a quick nod in acknowledgement of that.
And Orlo
And-
kind of is just going to look at the ground like a little bit somber, hearing his story.
And well, I mean, the bright side on that is I learned all the things that I needed to get by and get around. That's why I can shoot the bow and stab a fucker in the back and make him die. And then the whole demon thing came a little later. You guys have never asked me about that, which I find very peculiar.
What is there to ask? How does one broach the subject, Emmerin?
We're all a little weird.
What's with the demon, Emmerin?
I'm perfectly normal. Like,
Yeah, I can tell. Anyway, this is not about you. This is me. This is Emmerin time.
get him his pillows.
Get me my pillows. This is an
somebody
Emmerin
get this
centered
man a
episode.
luxurious pillow.
So, growing up in the Thieves Guild is how I met Seti. Seti was smart as all get out, but a little bit of a nerd. Yeah, fuck you too, buddy, but it's true. But I liked him. He's a good guy, and we started picking up for each other whenever we could. And hey, you remember that time that we started shaving down the chairs that Victor used to have, and then making his clothes slowly smaller and smaller and smaller, and he thought he was just growing really super fast. He was going to be a fucking giant or something. He beat the shit out of me once he found out what had happened. But that was a good one.
He just kind of looks at you and just rubs his temple and goes, I'm pretty sure I still have that knife somewhere.
That'd be a memento. That'd be one for the keeping. But anyway, yeah, I guess Uncle Dev found out Mom had gone somewhere and took off after her because, I mean, it was his brother at the end of the day that she effectively killed. And I want to find her for exactly the same reason. Know why she left and honestly put her in the ground.
And you, as you say that, the group of them, like not Devlin himself, but the group of them all kind of like in sync, just like bang their glasses on the table in just like a agreeance with your statement.
Is she nearby?
That's the difficult part. There's something that is keeping her safe, keeping her hidden, and we can't figure out what it is. Lyria is one of the best trackers I have ever met, and we only catch whiffs of where she has been, and can never seem to get ahead. There are a few ideas that we've been toying with, but we haven't had the time to get the things together that we need or build the correct trap, if you will.
Well, I think if you need bait, you're probably looking at it. As for anything else that you might need, we've come to know some very powerful people over the last little while. I mean, we're only on a quest to what was it?
Save the
all
world.
of Erendral. Yeah, that's
Save
it.
the
Save
world,
Erendral.
yeah.
Save the cheerleader, save the world, you know.
I've never heard that. That's a peculiar saying.
What's a
I'm on
cheerleader?
Cheerleader. Never any quest to save my girl.
I'm on a never-ending quest to save my girlfriend.
Excellent reference. God, that
Best-
show is
Best
irreverent.
show.
So great.
What kind of supplies are you needing? We could write to Zrinka, we could write to and I'll look at Orlo and be like, we could write to Pace.
Yeah, you could rate the pace.
I could send back to the Shattered Keep and see what resources would be available to me, to us.
You know what? They've got all kinds of wood. If you guys are missing out on wood, they got it.
Not worried about wood.
It's
Wood.
sheep he needs. That's right. It's a Catan joke.
Thought he was looking for wood. I thought they were low on wood.
Go, keep laughing.
Oh, I will.
Must build more farms.
I'm out here trying to find some Vespine gas.
Got any more of that Vespine?
As you're kind of mentioning all of these things, Devin kind of just sits there and he's mulling it over, and I would do just about anything to make this happen.
Would you skin a cat? Just kidding.
I'll have Alondra make you a list. We'll see what we can find, where it will come from, and how long it will take. And in the meantime, maybe we'll put together a plan and hopefully not have to use you as bait.
Just be
Oh.
sure that I'm there. That's all I ask. Let's just say I'd like to have a few words with her.
I'll do my best. Medrin comes by, fills the glasses, and he sits there. Devlin sits there for a few moments, looks over at Cedric and kind of like kicks his boot. He goes, "You seem like you're doing well for yourself." Seti kind of looks at him and cracks a smile and goes, "Good enough." And he looks over at you, Emmerin, and he goes, "Look better than that."
Hey, you should see the pillows I've got. I'm even thinking about getting a blanket.
The pillows are marvelous.
They're wonderful, aren't they? We travel in style. We're just,
You should see our carriage.
our carriage is beautiful. We're just utilitarian.
We do have something of a caravan on the road.
I seem to remember hearing something about that recently.
Yeah. Do we have just the carriage?
Yeah.
Because it would just look really funny. Just like reach in the bag, like, see, here it is. Huh? Put it back in the bag.
Because you absolutely, I mean, you absolutely would, because that's what you get. You put Max and Steve in the house, but you just shrunk the carriage down. So
Yeah.
Out Out of curiosity, what did you hear about us?
Heard that there was a group of travelers making some serious problems for, well, people who deserve it more than anything.
Good. Roland kind of nods. That's sort of what we're about.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Making problems, but for people who deserve them.
And Cedric says under his breath, he's like, sometimes people who don't.
Smack him in the back of the head.
He kind of just like rubs the back of his head and he stands up and he brushes himself off and he goes, it was wonderful to see. I'm happy you're home. I'm sure I will be seeing you more. I have some things I need to attend to.
Good to see you too, Seti. If you need any help, let us know. And yeah, perhaps if you could keep some of your network looking out for an Elia, and let us know if you get any information. Something else we're also looking for, if you wouldn't mind putting it out to the network. I'm going to turn to you two or to you three, sorry, and kind of is there anything we need to get him to look out for? Rumors of magical happenings, what have you.
Yeah,
It's a large network. We might as well use it.
the standard, any sort of, I guess, cult activity or giant tentacles dragging people away, that sort of thing.
Well, we don't know if the other ones, if tentacles are going to be a thing now. It might have just been a Lady Alhaya thing.
It seemed thematic. Although I
Monothematic.
and I'm a man of themes.
Yeah, so we'll turn to Seti. He's like, look, truth is, we're looking for areas of intense magic. So if you hear any odd creatures, sightings, or any of the sort, could you pass that information along?
Or places that may have runes on the walls, that sort of thing.
I'm sure that's not entirely uncommon, Orlo.
When you say runes on the wall, Alondra kind of like sits up in her chair. Runes? What?
Yeah, it's just a few of the places that we've been that have been seemingly the source of this world-destroying power. They've had runes on the
you know what?
walls.
Maybe that's a story for a later time.
You don't happen to know what they look like, do you?
No,
They
no
look-
idea.
Very well then. She just
Times
kinda,
you
like,
wish you could cast message.
sits back
I cast
down.
message with my boot, and I kick Roland underneath the table.
Roland goes, he's about to answer, and he goes, excuse me.
Roland, drink your whiskey. How about a game of Squire's Dice?
Oh, I do love Squire's Dice.
The dwarf kind of looks up and he goes, what kind of suspicious things are you looking for?
Well, it seems to be taking different forms, so I don't know that we could rightly say. I don't know whatever has been happening in this region since the severance. Places where that seems to be more common or more severe?
And you see him kind of like running his hands through his big bushy beard, and he pulls out like some little bug and throws it on the floor and kind of brushes it off. There's been some rumor about some interesting behavior from some of the church staff themselves.
Hmm.
They're always flippy floppy to me, but
Well, that's about what I was gonna say. That's not surprising entirely. They're a bunch of cunts anyway. They
right.
always have been. But you're saying they're being a little cunty at it?
There's just been some interesting rumors about people going missing, showing back up, being gone for long periods of time, weird behavior, just a little bit more than usual, I would say.
You see, this is exactly the sort of moral degradation that is inherent in the worship of just a single deity. There's no accountability up there.
Stone, the cleric, kind of looks at you and goes, "See,
You get it.
A man of principle."
That's what it comes down to, is principles.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes and just throw back without even wincing this time. I'm just like, oh dear God. Like
Are you serious, going in there lighting incense for just one guy?
I would like to perfectly mirror exactly what Laya just did as he's going. Like,
It's insane. It's
He
nonsensical.
He looks at you and is like, I mean, it would save a lot of time, I suppose, but...
Of course, but then we run into, again, it's a matter of principle.
so I
It
lean
just
over to
seems
Laya and
lazy.
I throw 2 dice on the table and I go, "Oh look, I drink."
oh no, me too.
Oh hey, look, we bought drink again.
No way.
This continues on for as long as you let it.
Yeah. In perpetuity.
But as you guys sit there, the night kind of wears on a little bit. And Devlin kind of looks over to you, Em, and he goes, "It's good to see you. Glad you're doing. You look good. I'm sorry I haven't been in contact. Been on the road too much and stopping far too late."
Are you gonna tell me more about what happened to your face, or this little gift you've received?
Well, you see, when you go
A
after...
man loves a woman.
This is the time he decides to give you the birds and bees talk.
Laya runs away.
I've been doing it wrong for years.
I'll
So
say.
So what you're saying is, if I do it that way, I can still do it?
God's okay with it?
But he goes, when you hunt the things we hunt, there's bound to be some accident. And it just so happened that when a potion of dark vision explodes in your face, there's a chance that You go blind in your eye, except for in the dark. Who knew?
Honestly,
Permanent dark
that's
vision, I guess.
not the worst outcome.
Can I insight check that?
Sure, go ahead.
10. Unclear.
Much like his eye,
Ha!
extremely murky.
Your future seems gray and milky.
Oh God.
Ask again later.
Just grab Devlin by the head and shake him. Look in the eye.
Wrong color. He, as far as you can tell, seems genuine.
Right. I was thinking about imposing disadvantage on myself there. It's just because I love him so much. All right. Well, Uncle Dev, you know I love you, and it's always good to see you. But I think I've had enough of this mushy stuff for the day. These two are going to start thinking I'm three. Sorry, these three are going to start thinking I'm a softie.
Too late.
Stop forgetting me. Always forgetting me.
Actually, it's Rolly. I'm forgetting. Sorry.
I don't believe you.
Insight check.
Liar, have you tried being taller? Works for Orlo.
He does seem hard to miss. It's like Grom here. You can never lose him. Ever. Trust me.
Ma, you are incredibly tall.
And he kind of stands up. He, like, stretches. And he goes, yep.
Yep.